This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome. For many in India, bikes are more than just about transport. They're an all-consuming passion. But with increasing biker gang attacks, stunts being performed by young riders, and fatal accidents, the overall public perception of bikers has taken a beating. Today on Special Report, we try and understand the true spirit of biking and what keeps bike lovers on the road despite all hurdles. They are daredevils on motorbikes. Wearing barely any protective gear, these teenagers perform gravity-defying stunts on two wheels. They appear to have no fear of injuries or broken bones, and the city streets are their playground.
बाइकिंग एक होता है कि बच्चे का बाय बॉर्न एक कुछ होता है कि हर किसी का कि पैशन होता है कि हर किसी का कि मैं मस्कुलर बनूं या मैं बाइकिंग करूं, कोई भी ऐसा गेम पकड़ूं कि जिससे मेरे को फेम मिले, मेरे को पॉपुलैरिटी मिले या लोग मेरे को जाने मेरे नाम से, मेरे काम से।
जब हम कर रहे हैं सपोज अगर कोई हमें देख रहा है, वो हमें देख के रुक रहा है, उसके बाद दो और रुक रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोग बढ़ रहे हैं, दे आर लुकिंग एट अस, उससे हमारा फेम हो रहा है, हम फेमस हो रहे हैं।
बाइकिंग इज द मेन मतलब
part of our life right now.
Part of our life.
Stunt biking has always attracted attention, but the fad turned into an obsession in 2004 with Dhoom. Centered around a gang of smooth criminals who make fast getaways on high-powered superbikes, the John Abraham starrer was a box office success and spawned biker gangs across the country.
धूम फिल्म के बाद ही सारे स्टंट स्टार्ट हुए थे, ठीक है। अपने ग्रुप बन गए थे, बाइक रेसिंग हो रही है, जहाँ भी रोड खाली होते थे वहाँ पे लोग लड़के आते थे, प्रैक्टिस करते थे। हर कोई चाहता है कि वो आगे बढ़े, वो भी चाहता है कि वो टीवी पे आए। स्टंट्स करने के बाद बाल बिल्कुल ऐसे जॉन या बिल्कुल जॉन की तरह लगता है, वो स्टंट भी बिल्कुल जॉन की तरह करता है।
But things soon took an explosive turn, with dangerous races taking place on crowded roads and risky stunts performed in public places. Biking seemed to have earned itself a bad name.
These teenagers who are actually looking for attention, they need to be, groomed. That they need to understand that if you want to be bikers, if you want to be appreciated, you need to first of all wear riding gears, proper safety, things. You don't need to do stunts on public roads, doing hooliganism in the middle of the night. Spreading, basically it's all about getting attention, these kind of people. And these are not real bikers.
Sandeep Gajjar runs xbhp.com, India's largest online biking community. An avid rider, he feels that responsible biking can be an effective outlet for young people.
But this perception in the public eye, in the government eye, has to change because they have to understand that the youth, they are actually, instead of going into drugs, into all those kind of things, they are just taking bikes as the medium to release their energy.
Dhoom didn't just start off a stunting craze, it also announced the arrival of the superbike in India. Appropriately called Bittu Bikewala, Bittu Sodhi has been a rider and bike dealer for over 20 years. He remembers a time when there were just 3 kinds of motorcycles in India.
मैंने जब बिज़नेस स्टार्ट किया था उस टाइम सिर्फ 3 बाइक्स चलती थी, बुलेट, यज़दी एंड राजदूत। उसमें भी एक पहचान होती थी। बुलेट जो कहते थे, बुलेट जो चलाते हैं सरदार हो गए या जाट हो गए जिनकी बॉडी अच्छी होती है, जो लाइक बॉडी बिल्डर। और यज़दी एक यूथ का पैशन होता था, जो कि शायद उस टाइम मैंने भी यज़दी ही परचेज़ किया था। और राजदूत की एक कैटेगरी होती थी कि दूध वाला या यूपी से जो लोग आते हैं वो राजदूत चलाते हैं, तो एक कैटेगरी होती थी उस टाइम। तो नो डाउट पिछले 25 साल के अंदर मैंने अपनी पूरी लाइफ के अंदर ये बदलाव देखा है, कैसे मार्केट अपग्रेड हुई है, कैसे चीज़ें आई हैं, कैसा लोगों को पैसा आया है, कैसा मीडिया ने इतना चीज़ें की हैं, मूवीज़ ने इतनी चीज़ें की हैं, जिसकी वजह से आज ये बाइकिंग का एक पैशन सा निकल के बाहर आया है चीज़।
But looking like John Abraham doesn't come cheap, and the average superbike costs upwards of 10 lakh rupees in India. Quick to see the opportunity, innovative bike mechanics started souping up ordinary Indian motorbikes into snazzy superbikes for just a fraction of the cost.
11-12 लाख की गाड़ी तो हर एक को फैमिली वाइज तो मिडिल क्लास को कोई अफोर्ड करेगा नहीं। हायरबुसा अगर आप डिजाइन करते हो ओरिजिनल गाड़ी को लेकर तो 50,000 पड़ जाता है गाड़ी के ऊपर ऑल्ट्रेशन करके। इसमें हम उसके गाड़ी के अलॉय व्हील भी चेंज करते हैं और गाड़ी की बॉडी चेंज करते हैं, कलर कम्बिनेशन है, पूरी लुक ही चेंज हो जाती है गाड़ी की।
It was my dream to get an original one, but they're too expensive. That's why I took a modified one. This is just good in looks, that's it. There's no efficiency. I mean, it even reduces your efficiency. Average reduces a lot. And it's just that you enjoy your drive on this bike.
So why was it a Hayabusa that you wanted? Because you could have had a modified Ducati.
John Abraham drives a Hayabusa, basically.
But those who can afford original superbikes vouch for the real thing. The group of Delhi superbikers, or gods as they like to be referred to, is India's largest superbike group. A mix of doctors, businessmen, pilots, engineers, each of its 24 members takes time off from their regular professions to satisfy their love of biking.
One ride or one twist of the throttle of this machine makes you feel like God. I mean, actually like God, because you know nobody can touch you on the road. And this whole experience, the adrenaline rush, what happens when you accelerate, it is mind-boggling. So you are in love with this kind of a thing. And over the years, this passion keeps growing, and I mean, that's the reason you feel this is your life, because you are addicted to something. It is that great.
Twinkle Kapoor's husband Anurag is part of the gods, and at 1.5, her son Kabir is already showing signs of being a bike enthusiast.
I thought it was maybe because he sees his father doing it, but he started doing it when he was like 1.5-year-old and he just knew bikes and cars. So I think it's a boy thing. I'm just scared when he's out with his friends doing things on the highways, like when they're out riding on the highways. Then I know they're all on their bikes and they're all kind of, I mean, I know that they don't ride very fast, but their definition of speeding and our definition of speeding is again very different. When he's on his ride, I don't sleep till he's back.
The gods meet every Sunday at the crack of dawn and head out of the city where the roads are empty and the speed limits higher. Riding together, they believe, means riding safer.
First and foremost, it keeps you under check. So group riding, that's the best part, because if a leader, the group leader is doing 100, so nobody would be crossing him. So that is the best thing, and you learn from senior riders, the way they turn, the way they drive, the way they brake, and the way they accelerate. That is the best part. That is the number one advantage of being in a group. Number two is the more the merrier. I mean, if there are 10 super bikes going, the very thought, the very feel is phenomenal. As you can imagine, the passerby or a guy who's seeing them zooming past, it gives a thrill, even to us.
The call of the empty road may be strong, but it's a different story when fast bikes find their way onto city streets, especially in the hands of inexperienced young riders. After the break, we look at the heavy costs of biking obsessions gone wrong. Welcome back. Biking can be a heady experience, but the combination of super fast super bikes and India's often unpredictable roads can be lethal, leading to fatal accidents. On July 25, 2008, 18-year-old Siddharth Singh was killed on the spot when his Suzuki Hayabusa collided with a truck on the Delhi-Jaipur Expressway. Out on an early morning ride, the teenager was reportedly speeding on his superbike when he hit the gas cylinder-laden truck coming down the wrong side of the highway. In May 2005, Rishi Malhotra survived a near-fatal superbike accident. It took 2 years of treatment with several expensive surgeries to get the Delhi-based businessman back on his feet.
I was just passing a Nizamuddin pole in South Delhi, there was some flyover. It was some school kids. They asked me, so which bike is it? Which bike is it? So I thought I've told the brand name of the bike. I've told they wanted to stop me. I said just get down to flyover. Then I should stop, and whatever you want to see and ask, then some. I don't know they were drunk. I don't know they were aggressive. What they hit me from back very hardly, and I skipped my bike around half a kilometer. So it was a bad experience. It was a bad accident. I was bleeding a lot. It was only I just cautionly, thanks to God, I was wearing good helmet, a good Brandhoff helmet, which saved my head. That's it. Otherwise, totally I was bad. Treatment is very expensive. But the most expensive part is that you have to explain. I was hit, I was in a trauma, but even after that, I have to explain my parents. I have to give explanation to everybody. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं छोटा हूँ कि मैं गलत चला रहा था सुपर बाइक है मैं तेज चला रहा था it happened please believe me it was not me.
Accidents like these bring up the question of the readiness of Indian roads for super-fast superbikes. But experienced bikers believe that the problem has less to do with the bike than with the rider.
Fantastic acceleration, 0 to 100 in 2.8 seconds. That's the power they have, and the top speeds touch 300. So that's the reason they are ferocious, and given the environment of our country, the condition of roads, the lack of traffic sense on the roads, they become highly dangerous if they go into wrong hands.
धूम की वजह से लोगों के दिमाग में हायाबुसा बैठ गया. अब ये जो हायाबुसा है ये 1300 सीसी की बाइक है और इसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए भी आपको माइंड की ज़रूरत है. बिकॉज आज यूथ के हाथ में पैसा तो आ गया बट पावर कंट्रोल करने के लिए भी तो एक चीज़ चाहिए ना. इसमें हायाबुसा की गलती नहीं है. गलती क्या है? गलती यूथ के अंदर एक्सपीरियंस की है. एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है 1300 सीसी पे सीधे बाइक पे बैठ जाते हैं उस वजह से प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करते हैं. बिल्कुल डेंजरस टॉय है. बिल्कुल खिलौना भी ये कह सकता हूँ मौत का सामान है ये.
In July 2008, the same month as the Hayabusa accident, a biker gang began terrorizing Delhi, looting people at gunpoint and committing murders before getting away on their motorbikes. Its members were eventually arrested and the leader killed by the police in August 2008, but the effects were felt by bikers across the city.
पहले तो इतना उसका कोई रोक टोक नहीं थी, लेकिन अब तो बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई है. जैसे गैंग्स बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, रॉबरी केस, मर्डर केस बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, सबसे बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम होती है अब तो. क्योंकि कोई सोचता है कि यार ये उसी गैंग के होंगे, पहले ने रोको, प्रॉब्लम कर देते बहुत ज़्यादा, बाइक बंद कर देंगे, चेन स्नैचिंग केस लगा देंगे.
ऑब्वियसली हमेशा 100 में से 90% हमें ऐसा ही होता है कि नेगेटिव रिएक्शंस मिलते हैं. लोग ऑब्जेक्ट करते हैं हमें कि मगर हम ज़्यादा पब्लिक प्लेस में करते नहीं. हमें ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए होता, हमें खाली रोड चाहिए होती है. स्पेशली पुलिस वाले हैं कि अगर हमने राइडिंग गियर्स या अच्छे हेलमेट डाले हुए हैं या हमारी बाइक पे थोड़ा बहुत भी मॉडिफिकेशन है, हमें ही जानबूझ के पकड़ते हैं, जबकि हमारा डॉक्यूमेंट सब कुछ पूरा होता है.
Most in the biking community feel that the solution doesn't lie in stopping youngsters from biking, but in giving them space to hone their skills and talent. Unlike the West, where biking is a recognized motorsport with special tracks and events, India has barely any dedicated riding venues.
देखिए स्टंट्स हो ये चीज़ें बुरी नहीं है, पर बुरा वो है जहां आप करते हो वो गलत मैसेज एक जाता है सोसाइटी के अंदर. इन चीज़ों के लिए एक अलग से जगह प्रोवाइड कर दी जाए जिसके अंदर के गवर्नमेंट को रेवेन्यू भी मिले और स्टंट्स वालों के अपनी फेस्टेशन भी निकले, यूथ को अपने कुछ दिखाने का मौका भी मिले वहाँ पर.
Energy को creatively.
एनर्जी, बिकॉज अगर आप उनको उठा के जेल में बंद कर दोगे वो हल नहीं है. ये कभी कोई हल नहीं है कि आप सोचेंगे, क्योंकि वो एज ऐसी है कि उसमें आप वो उल्टा और गलत चीज़ों में जाएगा.
Shankar Govind works in a call center by night and helps out at his father's bike garage by day. In his spare time, the former stunt rider organizes dirt bike events on the outskirts of Delhi.
Previously, I too used to like ride rash on my roads because when these Bajaj they launched their bikes, I used to do stunts and all, wheelings and all. I had my complete team. But then when I saw all these mishaps coming up on road, because what happens is once you train the people, they do in a different manner. It's just like a showcase. That's it. They show off and thing. And take it fine. The people once you're doing a wheeling and all, people clap. They say, but some people they again say how bad he's riding. So what happens is like I prefer them not to do all these things. That it's better to be done in an enclosed area.
Dipping into his savings to convert unused pieces of land into dirt tracks for his events, Shankar trains young bike enthusiasts on the weekends, come rain or shine. He says events like these are important because they take racing off roads and onto tracks.
It's better if you organize things like at this closed circuit where we have a track, at least you know what you have to do. At least there's this track. If you think that, okay, you have the power in your bike, if you are more enthusiastic of the bike, come here. We have ample of space.
So you guys do your biking whether it's sunshine, rain, no matter what?
No matter it's like raining or it's like, if it's good, if it's raining. Why? Because you are like more wild in that. And again, you feel more sporty because it's like, again, you are on mud. There's more slush, more water. Your bike drifts more. So you try the best to control the bikes with the best power.
Sandeep Goswami calls himself a walking, talking advertisement for bike safety. A trained aeronautical engineer, he has clocked over 500,000 kilometers on his bike over 21 years with no major accidents.
Motorcycling gives me a total sense of freedom. And along with that, it gives me a sense of adventure. It's perpetual sense of adventure whenever I ride, whether I ride within the city or I ride long distance. But once you're out in the open road, any urbanite feels free. He feels like he's stretching his limbs. There is a feeling of oneness, especially when you're riding a road which is rather straight and rather totally devoid of traffic. It seems as if it has been laid specially for you and for your pleasure. So look, this is how we are going to go. Muradabad, we go to Rampur, from Rampur.
But accident-free rides don't come easy, and Sandeep feels that young riders often underestimate the importance of training and organization in staying safe.
You have to keep your basic priorities right, and for me, my basic priority is to be okay. Is to have an incident-free ride. Is to basically, enjoy the ride and yet survive. So for that, I learn. I learn riding, I learn about motorcycles, I learn about fixing motorcycles, and I learn about all the aspects of riding. I see all those races, I watch those track movies, I read books on motorcycling. So it is important to learn.
Most bikers tend to keep their families far away from their bikes, but Sandeep enjoys riding with his wife Ambika. Many bike expeditions across the country later, Ambika still remembers her first ride on the day they got engaged.
I was scared. I didn't know where to put my stuff. And he was like, okay, we go on long rides with these boxes, all our stuff inside it for 15-20 days. So your stuff doesn't matter. It's just a handbag and a bottle and all these things. But with him, it's like I'm really confident. Because his liking, his love for biking and all is there. And if I would have been against it, we would have been two different entities that way.
But if your son grows up and says that he wants to get a bike of his own, would you be okay with that?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. In that case, I'll have to be very strong enough to for that.
And for those who wonder what the overwhelming appeal of biking is, Sandeep has an answer.
See, motorcycling is the last form of urban adventure, or rather adventure left to the urban man. You ride a bike, this is almost akin to riding a horse. When you realize what the risk is and your caution, your skill, your sense of organization takes you past it again and again, it actually gives you a sense of wholesomeness. This is one way, one cheap, economical way of attaining that sense of wholeness in your daily urban life.